Hey there, this is Joe Techie. In this video, I'm going to do an unboxing and review of the ClamCase Pro for the iPad Air 2. This particular model comes in white, which I believe is the only color offered for this device. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this unboxing and I'll go and outline some of the pros and the cons. I'll give you my ultimate opinion on this keyboard case. So let's go ahead and crack this open, and just want to quickly outline some of the stuff here. The box and the packaging, it does seem very nice. They definitely have paid attention to detail on their packaging. Okay, here's the actual case wrapped in some plastic. Okay, in the bottom of the box, we have a couple of different ports here. One for the headphone adapter. Okay, and you'll notice that that's kind of skinny. The reason for that is the plug hole here for the headphones is very, very thin. There's not very many earphones that can fit in there unless you happen to have the earphones for an iPhone or something like that. Or there are some other ones on the market that will fit, but just in case, they did give you the adapter so you wouldn't run into that problem with the tiny, skinny hole. Also, there's the USB charging cable that also comes with it, bundled inside the box here. So I'm going to set that aside here. All right, now here we have the case. And you'll notice that it is all white. It's got rubber feet on the bottom. It's got the hinge assembly here. Power button here. You do have a button, an exterior button control for the sleep wake and also for the volume controls. Camera cutout, microphone, and you have your charging, your speaker ports as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so we are greeted with this insert, which kind of popped out here. Okay, and what this is basically the quick start, so to speak, for this particular keyboard. Now, my initial impressions, we've got the aluminum here on the top, which is very nice. The outer is plastic polycarbonate material. It seems very thick. So the backing here is actually pretty thick. It seems very, very rigid and durable. The hinge itself actually seems pretty solid as well. Just noticing how fairly easy it is to pull. It does have a good amount of tension as well. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and insert my iPad into this case so we can have a further look at this. And okay, so that's just going to snap right in. I actually like to do it this way so there's no extra wear and tear on the buttons. Okay, and that's pretty interesting. So definitely the sleep wake buttons, they do function. Let's check the volume as well. Yep, okay. So volume is working as well. Let's close this up. Okay, so you do have the USB charging port here. This is the power switch to turn it on. Let's go ahead and open this up. Okay, so it definitely has the smart cover feature, so it actually turns or wakes the iPad on or off, or puts it to sleep depending on if it's closed. This has multiple viewing angles and it actually goes 360 degrees. It lays flat. This is the 180. You can actually turn it backwards, which is one of the advertised features. Now this is the scary part, is when you're bending it backwards, it kind of feels like it's going to break. Although it does not, it's just part of the feature how it works, so it actually just swivels completely back on its backward here so we can have it in tablet mode. So this is one of the modes that it supports. You can have it in tablet mode. You can have it this way, which they call touchscreen mode. I like to call this video mode. So you can do multiple things with it. You could, use it this way. You could angle it a specific way if you just want to use the touchscreen keyboard, for example. Or watch videos, whichever you prefer. Okay, then you have the standard laptop mode. and that allows you to do different angles. So looks like that's probably, it actually snaps into this position, even though you can alter it and make it go into just about any position. But this appears to be the optimal position before it starts to put too much weight and flip over. So you'll notice that it's already too heavy. So this appears to be the best position. It actually springs into that actual locking position. Okay, so this device also advertises that it has months and months worth of battery time. There's no specified amount of time, but I would imagine if they're saying months, it would be at least 3 months of battery time. One thing I want to point out is that you do have easy access to your control center because you do have this extra space here. They're giving you full access to the screen. Like some other models that I've seen, they do not give you appropriate access down at the bottom because they sit into the hinge rather than this one sitting inside the back cover. Now another thing you can do, they claim that you can easily remove the iPad from here. The only way you can really do that is by pressing towards the center on the back here, and that allows you to pop it out easily if you want to just grab it. Me personally, I prefer to be able to rip it off out of the hinge and take it into tablet mode, just leaving the keyboard behind, and then come back and redock it to the keyboard when I want to. That's just my personal preference. Everyone may have their own opinion on that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pair this up, and then we'll do a quick typing test just to see how it feels here. You can see that we do have the full-blown island style keys with its own dedicated function key row. So they're not sharing the number of keys with the function buttons. That's excellent. We're going to go into Bluetooth. Let me go ahead and turn this on. I have not actually turned it on. It's actually a green LED light that's blinking right there. Okay, the ClamCase keyboard has already appeared. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And it is now paired, so I should be able to hit the home button. Okay, excellent. So let's just do that quick typing test like we talked about. Okay, I like the way the keys feel. They actually feel very nice. They have some good substance to them. They're kind of a smooth matte finish. Okay, this looks pretty good. I like this. Very nice keyboard layout. I don't see any special keys or functions that are out of the ordinary. I do notice that the tilde and the reverse apostrophe is a smaller key. I think that's pretty expected and normal on most of the iPad keyboards. And the backslash and the pipe symbol also is a smaller key. But again, that's to be expected with these very compact keyboards. Now across the top I mentioned we have the function keys, and they are fairly standard. So here you've got the home button, you have your search, spotlight key, your copy, paste, and cut features. You have your Siri button here. You can toggle your keyboard on and off when you're in a document mode, for example. You can press that to toggle the keyboard on and off. You have your play, rewind, fast forward buttons, your volume up and down, and then you have your lock button to lock the iPad down. Okay, so some of the cons, I'm going to go into some of the specific things that I'm not liking about this, and just so we can have a general idea. This keyboard, I believe, is now, to my knowledge, the most expensive keyboard case on the market, selling at $169.99. It does not have backlit keys, so there is absolutely no ability to type with this thing in the dark. I think that should have been included with a case in this particular price range. There are lesser priced keyboards on the market, such as the Belkin and ZAGG, that have backlit features in their keys. Even if it's just a single light, it is something that I think is an important feature, especially at this price point. There's no portrait mode, so you're not able to change this in any way and put it in portrait mode, which would be this way. You only have the landscape mode, and that's it. So the only way you can do that is really to just pull the iPad completely out of the case. Now, I mentioned before, bending this case backwards to reverse it kind of gives you this feeling like it's going to break. That's really not the case, but it did feel kind of awkward to me initially when I did that. It is pretty solid, though. I will say that the hinge assembly is very solid. I don't see any issues. It's very stiff. There's very little wobble. It's pretty normal. In fact, most laptops have the same amount of wobble, including MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs. Overall, I think this is actually a very good device. It is very solid. It has a very nice design. The keys are excellent. The layout is excellent. I like the fact that they give us full access to the screen. You're able to see it in case you need to get to your control center. Now, there are some design differences between this case and, say, for example, the ZAGG Slim Book. As I mentioned before, The ZAGG Slim Book, you can literally pull the entire iPad out of the hinge assembly and leave the keyboard behind. This one, you cannot do that. So that is, in my opinion, in this price range, I think that's kind of a downer. I think that that should include that. But their particular point of view is that you can just pull the iPad out of the case, which I think over time is just going to cause extra wear and tear. And for some that might be a little clumsy like I am from time to time, it might actually crack this back cover case. I do think that this is going to offer pretty decent drop protection for the most part compared to other models like the Slim Book, which I don't think would survive a drop very well. But this one and, say for example, the Belkin QODE Ultimate Pro, they both seem to have pretty good drop protection like this one here. Another thing I don't like about this is that it comes in white. I'm not a particular fan of white. That's just me. I would have preferred black or maybe aluminum. Would have looked, you know, the same kind of aluminum they use here, to put it on the outside to give it a better look ultimately. So overall, I think this is a great keyboard. It definitely has excellent build quality. I have to give them that. They've definitely put together a very nice product, and it looks like it's a very well made quality product. I hope you found this useful for your buying decision. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I thank you again for watching. Stay tuned for new and upcoming videos in the future. Joe Techie out.